So you'll watch on how I built this project. The mysterious spellbox of Doctor Strange, which is an ancient relic called La Macchina di Kadavus from Spiderman No Way Home. So please stay tuned on my channel. And this is Erickson Lee and you are watching Erickson Lee Cosplay.
Don't.
So we're gonna be using a rubber mat foam to make the backs of Doctor Strange, and we're gonna be making a 45-degree angle cut. So I watched this technique on YouTube and I'm gonna be using it now. So I'm gonna cut now the center, and then we're gonna use this as the pattern and trace another 5 pieces to complete a backs, to form a backs of Doctor Strange. La Macchina di Kadavus from Spiderman No Way Home. So after I've cut the 5 pieces, here's the proper technique on how to make the 45-degree angle cut. So we must need an L-square angle ruler and mark the 45-degree. So remove the blade of your cutter and put it on the mark, on where you mark the 45-degree, and stick it on there, and then you can cut now a 45-degree angle cut, which is so easily to make. Now I've got now the 6 pieces, and now we're gonna put a contact cement to these 6 pieces, so that later on we're gonna stick it on together to form the backs of Doctor Strange. And now we're gonna stick it on together. So we're making now the backs, and here is now the backs we've formed and I've made. So we're going now to the build-up details of the backs, and this is a simple technique that I've learned, and I don't know if it will work. Then I'm gonna be cutting a 1-inch lining build-up detail for the ring, and for sure let's make it long. Then put the contact cement on the lining build-up detail and a contact cement on the mark of the ring onto the surface of the backs. Hope it will work. And let's try the contact cement. We're gonna stick them together. Slowly but surely we're gonna stick it until it's totally perfectly form a circle. But I don't think so. Maybe it didn't work. It deforms. It shrink in the middle. So I must remove this thing off onto the backs. It is not nice to see. So I'm gonna be removing it on to the backs. So after I've removed it, I'm gonna use a proper technique on how to make a ring. I just need a straight cardboard and a 2 fan to make a protector. Then make a 3 hole on the cardboard. Then point the first fan on the center hole and the second fan on the second hole, and then move the pen to make a perfect circle. Then point again the other fan on the third hole and then move it again to have the measurement of the ring. So I've learned this technique on one of my mentor. He's an artist too like me, Kuya Arlan. He teach me on how to do this technique and now I'm gonna be making it. And now we're gonna put it on the box. I'm gonna trace where I want to put the contact cement on the box. And now we're done for that circle. And now after dry, we're gonna stick them together. Slowly but surely, we're gonna spot on the right place. Exactly. And the ring is now on the box. The ring. Yes, the ring. Erickson Lee 3 finds. I'm not contented on it. That's why I'm gonna reduce a little bit millimeter on the inner side of the ring to make it much thin because it was so wide. And now I've got now the pattern of it and make again the technique that one of my mentors have taught me on how to make a DIY protector. So we're gonna be making 5 more rings to complete into the box. I got now the 5 more rings. You stick them and then stick into it and you stick just like a booger onto the under of the table until we finish to stick all the 6 rings into the box. And now we're done to the rings of the box. So we're going now to the build-up details of the vertex of the box. This technique that I'm gonna be using is to mark a chalk so that we can get the exact measurement of the vertex of the box. Then put the back of the rubber mat on the chalk mark and press it softly and gently to mark it on the back of the rubber mat foam. And then I need 3 pieces to form the vertex. Vertex 5 will fight for me. It marks on the back. And now I'm gonna be cutting it off. Then I use an L square angle ruler to make it a perfect square angle and then cut it on and on and on and on.
Life goes on and on and on and on and on.
Then I cut the curve into a 2mm deep and 2mm wide to detail it as the groove. I cut the 2 sides into a 45-degree angle cut. Then do again the process to all the 3 pieces parts of the vertex. So I'm gonna try this method just like an experiment. I'll stick now the first 3 pieces before I stick it on to the vertex. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. making the backs, making the backs, making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs, I'm making the backs, I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I cut the two sides into a 45-degree angle cut. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs. I'm making the backs. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs. I'm making the backs. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs. I'm making the backs. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. I'm making the backs. I'm making the backs. I'm making the backs of Doctor Strange. This is the last piece that I will stick on to the vertex of the box. But wait, I was frank by myself.
Wala na, it's a prank.
There is no contact cement. Oh no, I've done wrong. So I'm gonna be putting on a contact cement, and there was no more frank on the vertex of the box. And I'm down to the vertex of the box. So we're gonna be moving on to the next part of the box. So again, I'm gonna be using again a chalk into this part of the box to trace the figure of this part. Let's get around. Then put now the rubber mat foam on where you marked the chalk. Then press gently and softly the rubber mat foam to mark the chalk on it. Cutting time again. So I remember my cutting classes when I was just a high school. So this time I'm gonna be using a ruler, and maybe I will use my fingernail tips as a marker. Then cut it off again and make this as the pattern, and use again my fingernail tip like I used to do. So I'm gonna be making 4 times 6 equals 24 pieces, and then mark it on and on and on and on and on and on.
Life goes on and on and on and on and on
And next is cut it on and on and on and on and on.
Life goes on and on and
Cut it
on
on
and
and
on
on
and
and
on.
on. Just joking. But wait, I forgot the 2 pieces. Maybe I'm really growing old now. I'm becoming forgetful. But for sure I'll be counting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, it's complete. Then put a contact cement and after dry, stick it on into the box. So I'm gonna stick all the 24 pieces into the box. Stick it on there, stick it on here, stick, sticko. Then I use a mini grinder to make a groove on this part of the box. Yes, of the box. Then mark a 1 inch on every edges of the vertex. Then mark a line, then cut it on now to make a triangular cut on the vertex of the box. Yes, of the box. I mean of the box. And then smoothen this fire to make a flat and smooth surface. Yes. So let's move on to the next part. So let's move now to the next part. I'll use a carton to make it as a pattern on the part of this box. And after I draw the detail, I'm gonna be cutting it off and trace to this part of the box. Yes, of the box. It's time now to detail this part by the mini grinder and detail all this part of the box. By doing this project, I made a lot of error before I got the proper way technique on this project. And now I'm finished to detail on this part of the box. So the next step is to detail the ring by the mini grinder. Then we're gonna be engraving the groove of the ring. The bigger groove is 5mm wide, then the smaller groove is 3mm wide, and both groove is 1mm deep. And we are gonna be smoothing this part of the groove. So what you must need to finish like this project is that you must be patient and diligent and always focus on what you are doing. And of course, always keep up the good work for you to have a successful masterpiece. So here we are, now on the next step, and I'm gonna mark now the details on the ring of this box. And it looks like it was an ancient language, and I can see the real detail on the ring. That's why I invented it all, because maybe the reference was not that clear, but it is not far from the reference. And then I'm gonna smoothen again the groove of the ring to make it much better to see. So it's time again to use a carton to be the pattern of this part of the box. So carefully I'm gonna cut this pattern and then trace it with a pen. And then trace it on to the box. And now I'm done to these details of this part. And so we're gonna be moving on to the next part of the bags. I get again a carton and make it again as the pattern for the polygon or the screw of the bags on the vertex. And then cut it off. Wait, I need a 1mm and 2mm thick EVA foam. That's why I will get the insole foam of the shoes that I stack up for a use. So here's one, and maybe I will get all the insole foam on the shoes, because my nephews have grown up and now it didn't fit to them. Nice and bright idea. So first I will remove the fabric on all the insole foam and then mark the pattern on this, and I need 24 pieces and then cut it on and on and on and on.
The light goes on and on and on and on and on.
I'm only singing. That's just a joke. Then I'm gonna mark on where I'm gonna be putting a contact cement on the bags. So after dry the contact cement, we're gonna stick them together. And then detail a line on the surrounding of the screw and engrave it again with a mini grinder. So next is we're gonna be sharpening the 6 sides of the screw and maybe a 2mm wide just to make it like a real screw, and make sure that all the sides are equal to each other. Then remove the dust particles, and now we're done to this part. Only to this part, not all the part of the bags. So let's go to the layers of the ring. I cut a 1mm thick lining for the 2 sides of the ring and stick it on to the ring for the details. And now we're done for these details of the ring. Okay, let's get on to the next part. I cut a 4mm thick EVA foam for the inside lower layer of the ring. Then I measure it inside the upper layer of the ring of the box to get the exact measurement. Then I cut again a 4mm thick EVA foam for another lower layer. Exactly 3 points! Just like basketball only. Then put a contact cement to the inner side of the first layer and to the outer side of the second layer. and then stick it on together. So we move now to the ticking hands of the ring inside the box. But wait, I was wrong again. Maybe it was backward. So I'm gonna make the back of this as the pattern and trace it on the foam and cut it on. So after I cut it on, then put the contact cement. Then after dry, I'm gonna stick it on the ring, and it took a lot of days by doing this project. So put the contact cement on the upper edge of the ring and mark inside the box on where you're gonna put the contact cement, and then after dry, let's stick it on. So I'm done now to the ticking hand. But wait, it is too much thicker, so I'm gonna cut a little bit millimeter wide on these ticking hands. And detail this by the mini grinder. So the detail is just like a vertical line that have an exact distance for each other. I put a 1mm thick EVA foam lining on the two sides of the ticking hands. Then we are very near now to finish crafting this project. So just stay tuned on my video and don't forget to subscribe. Now I'm done crafting onto this side of the box, on this part of the box. Oh, I'm like now Doctor Strange. And now I'm done crafting to all the sides of the box. So I didn't stick first the two rings because I will put yet the mechanical wall inside the box. Oh wait, I'm not done yet on the vertex of the box. So I will use again the insole foam of the old shoes of my nephews. And then I get the triangle piece that I cut on the vertex to use this as the pattern, then mark it on to the 2mm thick foam. I increased the width by 1mm to get the right size, and then I trace it on the foam and then cut it on and make an 8 triangle pieces. So this time I'm gonna be making a smaller size to become the upper layer of the triangle. So I put the contact cement to all these pieces and a contact cement onto the vertex and stick all the smaller pieces onto the bigger pieces. Then put again a contact cement on the back of these pieces, and then after dry, stick it on to the vertex of the box. Stick it on there, stick it on here, stick it on there, and stick it everywhere. Stick it on, just stick it on, just like a ruler sticking under the table. And then we move on to the next part, the mechanical wall inside the box. So now we'll make the case of the wall. I cut a 4mm wide to 1" wide double slanted sides which is opposite to each other, and then stick them together on the both end of the edge. Double cross the pieces, and it forms like a ball now. I cut a 4 pieces triangular shape to fill the space of the case of the ball, and then I measure every piece of the triangular shape to the case to fit it on the case of the ball. And I don't know if it will work. Hope it will work. Then I stick them together and put it on the case of the ball. But it didn't work. I made again an error to this project. So I must have a second option to this project. Wait, I have an idea. And maybe it will work. So I traced the first one I did to this one, and then I mark a curved line on the both end. And then cut it on and on and on. Then sharpen the edges of the case of the wall. Then I put a contact cement, and after dry, stick now the 4 triangular pieces on the case of the wall. And we will see if it really fits. But I think it worked. I use a heat gun to the contact cement to make it wet again, and then stick it on properly. And then stick it on properly. What I said. Stick it on properly. Yes, that's what I said. Oh, just joking. Then I use this one as the build-up details and mark the exact detail. Then cut it on, so that you will see the details of the wall. Put the contact cement, then after dry, stick them together. And now we are down to the mechanical wall of the box. So it's time now to engrave the detail of the wall. The details are like an ancient language. So I just invented it because I can't see so clearly the details on the reference. It's so challenging by making of hundreds of hours doing this project. But patience is the key to finish like this project. So let's test it inside the box. This time I'm gonna be using an acrylic gloss emulsion for the primer. It was a water-based varnish, so easily to dry, and it is elastic when it dries. So if you want a cheaper primer, I recommend to you acrylic gloss emulsion. It is a water-based varnish and so easily to dry. I double coat the process to look it glossy when sprayed. And it is much cheaper than other primer. So it's time now to paint this project. I use a copper gold spray to the outer ring and the inner ring. So let's spray it on and on and on. So I recommend to you that you must spray like this project on outdoor so that you have a proper ventilation. Then I use a chrome to spray this ball. Oh wait, there is no more oxygen now on the spray paint. That's why I didn't finish yet spraying the mechanical ball. Oh, it's a problem. I have an idea. Maybe there's still a paint inside of it. That's why my cousin Jan-Paul helped me to open this can. Oh, but the paint comes out of the hole because there's still a few oxygen inside of the can. It's a prank. Oh, it's a prank. I think it's a prank. Let's look it on a slow motion on how my cousin was being pranked by that spray paint.
Napakarami pati sa damit.
So maybe my cousin will not now go on a parlor shop because his hair is now colored ash blonde. He consumes money for a hair coloring. Yes, for a hair coloring. So there's still a feint left on the can. So I'm gonna continue to feint the mechanical ball by the means of a brush. So I'm done now to the ball of the box. Then I double coat the gold to make it look much glossy. But wait, it is amazing that I noticed that there is a spider onto this side of the box, of the ring of the box. For sake it was not been fainted, so it is still alive. So let it live forever. So let's take a look closer to this spider. It is a jumping spider. Oh yes, a jumping spider. So I continue to double coat the gold. It's time now to feint the vertex. So I will use a Hansa yellow all tinting color mixed with chrome, then mix it with blue, metallic blue. We will mix the three colors to make it metallic green. We will mix the three colors to make it metallic green. So it's all up to you on how you're gonna be mixing the feint. Maybe add more blue to get the color of the metallic green. And if you're fully contented now on this color, then feint it now on the vertex of the box. Now we are done for the feint. We are done for the feinting. It's time now for the weathering. I'm gonna be using a black acrycolor latex for the weathering and use a piece of fabric to wipe the excess of the black feint. And spread it on all to the surface. The black feint that remains on the surface will give the detail of the box. You can try this at home. No one will force you to stop to try this at home. Yes, I recommend to you. You can try this at home. If it is not yet satisfying, then do many times the process until you get the exact amount of details. And do the same process on all the surface of the box. You will see it will look like a realistic one. It's like reality. So please comment down below if you really like this project, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you will be updated to all my videos, because I'm gonna be uploading so many projects like this one. So next is the screw. I'm gonna brush a black acrylic color onto these edges. And use a piece of fabric to wipe the excess of the black paint. I use again the same process of weathering. And we're done for the weathering of the bags. So it's break time. I will eat first a soup. Just let me eat. Because it's Ñoño's birthday, the brother of this little girl that you've seen on the whole of the bags. And then it's time now for the weathering of the mechanical ball. I use again the same process of weathering. Just the same process. Yes, the same process. Like I said. So the weathering is done, but we're not yet finished on this project. I will test it first if it really looks so satisfying in my eyes and the eyes of the others. So just be patient on doing like this project. That's the only key on how to finish a project like this. So it's time now for the top coat. I'm gonna be using again the acrylic gloss emulsion and double coat the process to make it look so glossy. Yes, so shiny. Shining, shimmering, splendid. Oh wait, why does my new marker that I buy on the store doesn't have an ink? Oh, look at that store, they are selling a used item. But even though I have an idea, I will tell them to the police. They will pay for this. So this time I'm gonna be using a chrome for a metallic finish. So instead of brush, I'm gonna be using this old marker for detailing the metallic finish. So this time I'm thinking if I want these bags to have a metallic finish or just a green color as it was. But this is my first time to make a metallic finish. That's why I will continue this. That's why I test it on to this project. But I see that it was so satisfying, that's why I continue. Now I'm almost done to the metallic finish, but there is one part left. So now I'm gonna be finishing these details. Here's the last part for the last detail for the metallic finish. So just stay tuned to my channel and don't forget to subscribe. If you didn't subscribe, you will die tomorrow. No, just joking. But if you subscribe, you will live 100 million years old. Just joking. And now I'm done for the metallic finish on the box. Wait, it is not yet finished. We are going to the final moment. Last but not the least, I forgot one thing, and it is the holder of the mechanical ball into the inside of the box. I will use my scrap rubber mat foam for this last part. I'm gonna be throwing it, but it is useful now because I'm gonna be using it now. I need 8 pieces triangular holder that will hold the ball inside the box. So in every one piece of the triangular holder, it have 3 parts. One part have 1 inch wide and 6 inches long. So I must need 24 pieces to complete the 8 pieces holder of the mechanical ball. And cut the edges into a 45-degree angle cut to form a triangular feature when the 3 pieces are stick on together. So here's now the holder, and we're gonna stick it on the ball. And I stick now the 4 pieces and put it inside the box. So the 8 pieces triangular holder are done. So we will paint now the holder. All I need is a gold spray paint and a sponge. Then spray it on the cover to pour a little amount of gold paint, and then dip the sponge on a very little amount of gold, and let's do now the painting. So we are now on the very last piece of this project. Last but not least is the 2 rings. So stick it all inside the box. And now we are done. And this is the finished product of this project. The Macchina di Kadavus. So Doctor Strange named it La Macchina di Kadavus.